Hey y'all, welcome back to my kitchen. We're gonna do something really fun today. I don't even have a recipe for this. Somebody asked me or told me, I don't really like to cook. I don't know how to cook, but I need to feed my family. Can you show me some recipes that are just really simple and easy? And yeah, I can do that. So today we're going to make a chicken pot pie. That is the easiest thing ever. Like I said, I don't even have a recipe. But it's just so super easy that anybody can do it. So this is kind of off the track for me because usually I do a little more from scratch cooking. But this time, hopefully somebody's going to get something out of this and be able to put a meal on the table that they cooked and maybe get more interested in cooking once they have a few successes. So let's get started on our, first of all, preparing our filling. So hang on. All right, the first thing we're going to do is I have 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and we're going to put those in a pot. This is probably going to make more filling than I really need, but I can always use it for something else. And I'd rather have too much than too little. All right, to this pot, I have a bag of mixed vegetables, and this is 1 pound. If you want to use individual veggies, you can. You can use carrots, you can use peas, whatever you would like. You don't even have to buy a frozen one. But again, I have promised to keep this easy. So I'm going to put about half a bag of the mixed veggies in here. Okay, and I have a stalk of celery and a yellow onion, a medium yellow onion. I'm going to put this right on top. Now we're going to cover this with chicken broth. This may not be enough, but we can always add some water. Yeah, we're going to need some water. Okay, I put enough water in there to cover our chicken and our vegetables. And I'm going to put this on the stove and just boil it until the chicken is done and the veggies are soft and done. So hang on. We've got our chicken and our vegetables boiling. So while we're waiting for that to happen, I have to show you what I got today. This is so cool. I'm so excited. I ordered a cookbook from my friend, Uncle Jason. And I went to his website, and he has like 6 of them. And I had a really hard time choosing which one I wanted to buy, but I wound up with this one, Lunch at Uncle Jason's. I hope that's not backwards. I hope you can see it. Anyway, it came today, and I am so excited. There are so many cool recipes in here. I can't wait to try. I have sat here all afternoon and read this book. It's so neat, and there's some family history, there's some stories. Jason, you did a great job. So I'm definitely going to put his other books on my list to gradually get. But if you don't follow him, please do. Please do. I enjoy it so much. Lunch at Uncle Jason's. And go on his website, check out his cookbooks. There are so many cool recipes in here that I can't wait to try. So anyway, this was my excitement today. This was like Christmas. So yeah, I'll let you know when we try some of his recipes. So go check him out. Go follow if you're not doing that, and check out his cookbooks. I can't wait to get a couple more. So that was my fun for the day. Okay, I pulled our chicken breast out of the pot and I drained the vegetables, but I did not get rid of all the all the broth. I kept some of it, but for right now, I put our, let me show you. Hang on just a minute. I put our chicken breasts separately because I'm going to need to cut them up. And I'm just kind of letting them cool for a minute. And then I'm not going to shred them. I don't want them shredded. I wanted them more of a fine chop. So let's cut them in half so they'll cool a little quicker. All right, as soon as we've got a little more cool so we can handle them, we'll come back and we'll chop them up. Okay, our chicken cooled off, so I went ahead and started cubing it up because y'all don't need to be bored to death watching that. And I'm just cutting it in kind of chunks like that. I don't want a shred on this. I just want it nice and chunky. Put it in a bowl. All right, now we're going to add our veggies. I drained them, and I kept some of the liquid. So we're going to just put that right in with the chicken. Just give it a good mix. All right, we're going to add a little bit of chicken bouillon. I'm not going to add any salt because the bouillon has salt in it, but I am going to add some black pepper and some garlic salt. Now, don't you guys think this has been pretty easy so far? All right, so we're going to add a can of cream of chicken soup. I may have to add 2 cans, but we'll see. Because I don't want it real soupy, but we want it moist. Nope, I think 1 can's going to be plenty. You don't want it, like I said, we just don't want it real soupy. But what I am going to do is a little bit of the broth that I kept out. I'm going to rinse my soup can with that. Just a little bit. Not very much at all. All right, now I think we need to taste for seasoning. And that's perfect. Anything else would just be too much. So hold on and we'll put it together. Okay, let's assemble our pie. To make this super easy, we have a pre-made pie crust, and I got the kind that's rolled out. It's not the one that's already in the pan. However, you can certainly use that one. But I have a pie pan that I'd like to use, and I just got the pie crust that's already rolled out, and it's in a sleeve. So, and don't even talk to me about a pot pie that doesn't have a bottom crust. It's just, no. Just doesn't need to happen. I think the crust is half the fun. So we're just gonna roll our pie dough out. And this one actually wants to break, but that's okay. We'll fix it. Of course, when I'm trying to show you, it's going to be difficult. So we're just going to lay this right in our pan. Tuck it in. And again, this is being difficult, so just take your finger and mash it together. Hopefully the top crust won't do this, but it probably will. Just fit it right in your pan. Just work it in. And then we're going to put our veggies right and our chicken right on top of that. I was thinking that might be going to be too much, but I think it's going to be just right. All right, let's try the next one. I don't work with pre-made pie crust that often, so I'm not sure what, but you know what? Let me warm this up a little bit. Maybe that's what it was. Okay, if my dumb self would have looked right on the box, it says bring it to room temperature, but so hopefully this one will be a little nicer. Like I said, I don't often work with pre-made pie crust or pie dough. Oh yes, that just fixed it right up. Okay, we're going to lay this right over our filling. This is a 9-inch pan. Again, you can use the pie crust that's already in an aluminum pan, the deep dish, or you can use a casserole dish if you want to. You don't have to make it into a pie. Just as long as you put that bottom crust on there. That's the key, in my opinion. All right. Just take your fork and kind of smoosh that down around there and seal that edge. Now we're going to do an egg wash, and this just puts a glaze on the top. It really, you don't have to do this, but it does make a difference, and it's really nice. So there's one egg, one large egg, and to this we're going to add just a splash of water. You can also add milk if you prefer. The milk will make it a little bit darker. Beat your egg. And then just brush it on the crust. Make sure you get the edges. And I have a little bit of pepper in my brush. It was laying by the pepper when I put it in there. That's kind of, but I promise it is black pepper. Okay, and we're going to take a knife and just cut some slits in our pie, just to let the steam escape. We're going to put this in a 425-degree oven for about 35 minutes, but after about 20 minutes, we're going to go back and check and make sure that the edges are not getting too brown, and we're going to probably wind up putting some aluminum foil, just covering the edges with aluminum foil. So let's get it ready. Let's put it in the oven, and we'll be back when it's time to take it out. Okay, here's where we are. The pie has been in for 45 minutes, and after 20 minutes I took it out and covered the edge because they were kind of getting brown. So what we're going to do right now is let it set for a few minutes and just sort of settle in. If I cut it right now, it's just going to fall apart. So we're going to hang out with it for a few minutes and let it set, and then we'll be back and cut it. Okay, I think we're ready to cut our pie. I just let it sit for a few minutes to kind of settle down. So the crust is nice and flaky. And again, you can make it in a casserole dish if you want. Let me see if we can scooch this over a little bit. Well, that just really tore up, but that's okay. I try to make it pretty for y'all, and this just defeated me every which way, and it was so easy. Okay, there is our deconstructed chicken pot pie. And let's have a taste. It's so hot. You can season this any way you want to. I've even seasoned my chicken pot pies before with curry, with just some light curry powder, which is delicious. You can add mushrooms. You can just do whatever you want to with it. It was so good. That is just really, really good. The crust is all flaky, the chicken is tender, and the veggies are just the perfect ratio. The chicken bouillon added a whole lot of flavor to it as well. So season it up however you want to. It's yours. Again, make it any way you want to. Just be sure and put that bottom crust in there. That does make a difference. And I hope you've enjoyed this easy peasy chicken pot pie. And go make you one. It's cold outside tonight. Make you something warm and cozy. If it's this, fine. And also remember, go support my friend Uncle Jason and check out his cookbooks. I've been, again, while I was waiting for the pie, was reading, and there's so many recipes I want to try. That was his mother's. The pictures in there, great. So anyway, there we go. Please like, share, hit the subscribe button, and we'll talk tomorrow. Bye.